So today I'm going to be talking about the inconsistent triad and theodicies. So this is in philosophy, it's for GCSE RE, and it's in the topic good and evil. Let's get started. Why is evil a problem for Christians? Basically, the idea is that God is meant to be all-powerful, so all omnipotent, all-loving, omnibenevolent, and all-knowing, omniscient. The inconsistent triad. And there's two types of evil: moral evil, so that's when humans do something evil, and natural evil, which is like natural disasters and stuff like that. And evil exists, and God knows that evil exists if he's all-knowing. But then, if he's all-loving, then surely he wants to stop evil from happening because he doesn't want people to suffer. And then if he's all-powerful, then he has the power to make evil stop. So why doesn't he make evil stop? Because it's caused a lot of problems. It's like the reason why quite a lot of people aren't religious. However, some philosophers have thought of solutions to the inconsistent triad. Solutions are called theodicies. So the first theodicy is the aesthetic argument. If you zoom in on one part of life, on one piece of suffering, that's a magnifying glass. If you zoom in on one piece of suffering, then it looks really bad. So you see someone like crying or something. However, if you zoom out and you see the bigger picture, then you see that the person is crying, I don't know, because someone was mean to them, because they were mean to them beforehand. So, basically it's the idea of zooming out and seeing the bigger picture. And another point of the aesthetic argument is you need contrast to be able to appreciate the good. So if you have two alive, really pretty flowers, then you're like, okay then. But then if there's a dead flower, and then there's an alive flower, yay, then you're like, whoa, look at how pretty that alive flower is compared to that one. So the next theodicy is the soul-making theodicy by John Hive, is that the soul matures and becomes closer to God throughout life. So you start off with your soul, and it's just kind of like a soul. It's not very complex or anything, it's just kind of an immature soul. And as life goes on, and you go through suffering, then the soul kind of matures and becomes more like God. But without suffering, people can't show their good values. Is if there was just everyone was happy all the time, then everyone would be happy and they'd just be like, whatever. But then if there was if there's this person who's really sad, then other people can show their compassion, and then that kind of develops their soul. However, a flaw with this could be that is it really worth it to make so many innocent people go through so much suffering, especially natural evil which isn't caused by a person or anything. Okay, so the next theodicy is the earrin theodicy. So if in a world where there was some kind of all-powerful God that controlled everyone and made them only do good things, then these are puppet strings, then they'd all be really holy and stuff. But then actually, would there be any worth to their perfection? To be honest, it wouldn't be there'd be no point because everyone would be good, so it wouldn't mean anything to actually be good. In our world, where there's some people choose to be good, so God kind of advises you to do stuff, but then actually doesn't control you. There's no puppet strings. And so that means that the people who do good, their kind of goodness actually counts for something. Whereas when people do bad, then that kind of shows that they're bad. Theodicy was by Richard Swinburne, and this is quite a modern one, and it's called the free will defense. So, God made us free so people can choose whether to be good or evil. Some people would say that why would you let things like war happen? Surely you could let people kind of do nasty things on a small level, but then God could control large events like war to make them not happen. However, the free will defense says that if our decisions had no impact, then it would be like we were living in a toy world where nothing really mattered. So having this free will means that you kind of see the influence of your actions. So if there was some parent who was really controlling and their child was like, can I ride a bicycle? Then the parent was like, no, because you might fall off the bicycle. However, if there's a different parent and their child is like, can I ride a bicycle? Yes, I will teach you. And then if they do fall off, then they would have learned something, and next time they won't fall off. And actually it lets them experience things. Like God is the parent, and God is not an overprotective parent, because he wants you to learn things and go through life and like become a better person. The final one, which I think is pretty weak, but you know it's quite an old one, so yeah. This one's by St. Augustus, and it's the Augustinian theodicy. If God is perfect, then any mistake in the world must not be his own fault. So moral evil, this works really well for moral evil, because it says if someone decides to shoot someone, it's their choice, and it's like it's not God influencing that. But then for natural evil, this one is really flawed, I think. It says that Adam and Eve. So this is Adam and Eve, and the idea is that in the Garden of Eden, when they ate the apple, or like the fruit, created imperfection in the world, and then this created natural evil such as tornadoes and stuff like that. God allows the suffering to go on as a punishment for the evil that humans have done. A flaw with this, I think, is that what about people who are literally completely innocent, like some baby or something who has a life-threatening illness? It doesn't really match up with the idea of God being loving, because I don't think he'd just continue to punish random innocent people just for something that Adam and Eve did. And also another thing is that it doesn't really match up with, in the New Testament, how Jesus says that God will forgive everyone, because it's clearly holding a grudge for a very, very long time. That's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed that video. If you have any analyses, weaknesses, strengths of these theodicies, please comment them down below, or just anything else to add to this video. And also, if you'd like to make any requests about philosophy videos that you'd like to hear, that'll be also great. But good luck with exams, good luck revising and stuff. Remember to have a break. Love you, and bye.
Look at my shirt, I got it from a charity shop and it's so nice. Also, this watch I got from a charity shop. And actually these shorts. So, you know, charity shop.